Welcome, bienvenido. Today is November 21st. It is my birthday and I'm very excited and I wanted to make a very short video. It's an update on the Indiegogo campaign. I am working on trying to figure out how to make the URL a little user friendly so that I can just say the words instead of having to post them on the link below. But in the meantime, it is going to be on the link below. The reason why I'm filming this video today, I was going to film it outside, but of course today would be a horribly cloudy day here in Florida. So we thought about it and we went around town looking for like a nice place to film a video. It just didn't work out. It was not going to happen. So we came back home and here I am sitting in front of the computer, but this is the newer one, so it's a little better. And of course, hold on. I don't like it because it's driving me crazy. So I'm going to leave it like that. It's going to be a little dark. I apologize for that. I'll work with the lighting better for the future. But like I said, I didn't expect it to be this dark. It's like, it looks like it's 5 p.m., but it's actually 2 p.m. If you can understand. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but in the winter time, you know how it gets darker earlier? It just looks like it's going to get dark now. That's how dark it is outside. So it really didn't work. Now, yesterday I received a private message and somebody asked me a question, and the only reason why I'm not bringing up the person's name is because I didn't ask for permission to use their name. But the person was telling me, maybe the reason why you're not getting any traction in the campaign is because you're not saying exactly what you want to do. And normally this person tries to keep me protected. That's the word I'm trying to find. I can't even talk to right now. This person tries to keep me a little bit too protected sometimes. So I thought she was going to say something to the effect of don't do this. But it turns out she gave me the best advice and she asked me a couple of questions and it was really a very well thought out message. And I don't think she expected the answer I gave her. She was like shocked, but I think, I'm not sure. But anyway, the bottom line is that I really like to get that person involved. So seeing the questions that she was asking me was really, really made my day. And of course, today's my birthday. I'm supposed to be in a good mood because it's my birthday. I don't care that I'm getting older, except for when people remind me how old I am. So here we go. Here's the thing. And I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but I'm going to give you my perspective so you tell me, hopefully in the comments below, how do you feel about it? The thing about it is this. When I was growing up, the first 21 years of my life, and you have to keep in mind, I am the youngest, and my father was the youngest in his family. So we both have a certain amount of things in common in terms of our perspective in life and how the family dynamics affected us. And being the last one in the family, people try to do everything for you. They don't expect much from you, and not in the sense that they don't want you to be good, but in the sense that they don't know what to expect because everybody else in the family has a particular talent or a particular skill or something they do really well. And you being the little one in the family, you're the last one to basically come out, if that's a way of explaining it. And in the case of my dad decided to break all the stereotypes of the little boy, and he was the go-getter of the family. He's the one that ended up going to college and having the big career and traveling all over the world. And even though some of his siblings ended up traveling because they were in the military or they were in particular jobs, my dad actually not only traveled with his company, he traveled with the JCs and with, he was in an organization about wine connoisseurs, and he traveled all over the world with all those organizations. He even had a trip, if I'm not mistaken, he once took a trip to France because he was learning French while living in Puerto Rico. So he loved to travel. And he did things that, I'm still finding out. I have most of his files and his stuff in my house. And every once in a while I'll find a picture or I'll find something. And I'm sitting there like, what the? Because I never heard the stories. I have friends of my dad that send me stories of things that he used to tell them about his travels and stuff. And sometimes I'm sitting there like, I never knew my dad traveled to whatever country it is. So he did a lot. Being the smallest and the youngest one did not stop him at all. Now, in my case, I'm a woman, not a man. And even though now the dynamics of being a woman and a man are different, back in the day, um, we wanted to break out of the stereotype, but we really didn't do exactly right, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I actually concentrated more on family. I put family first. And by the way, my dad put family first too. But his way of putting family first and my way of putting family first are completely different. And the thing about it is that I've always been taking care of somebody. If and in your case, you might not be married, you might not have children, but if you've ever taken care of somebody, be a sibling, a parent, maybe your best friend or your partner or somebody, even though you might not be married, but you might have a partner. And if you are like me, you put everybody first. By virtue of being a woman, we usually tend to put other people first. And that's especially true when you're Hispanic. But in my case, I put the entire family first. I raised my daughter, and if things were not going well with her, I would quit whatever job I had to make sure that I was here for her. And even though I'm the one with the college degree, my husband did not get a college degree. I figured he would make the money, and I would just stay home. Not necessarily the best idea all the time. Sometimes it did work to our advantage. He has had some jobs, which is why I no longer believe that you have to go to a college to have a good job, because he has had some jobs where he's made a lot more money than me. And ironically, the last job that I had, we both went to the same company at the same time, and he was making more money than me. And he had more opportunities than me, but we're not going to get into that because that's not what this video is about. So going back to the whole story of the video and the purpose of the campaign and everything else. I've always been the caregiver. I have taken care of my daughter when certain people in the family got sick. I'm the one who took care of them. And so apart from making money to make sure that everybody's fed and taking care of everybody, you get to a point when you're in your 50s when you start thinking, is that all there is? It's a reality of life. That's what why some people go through something called a low midlife crisis. And actually, we have been talking about this in this channel and in all my channels for a while. Because the reality is this: you go through life, you have a job. It doesn't matter if you make $100,000, $1 million, or $20,000 a year. If you are the provider, or if you are in a couple where you both work, but you also have family responsibilities, be it that you have siblings, parents, or children, and you raise your kids, or you put your parents through a process and they pass away, or your kids go off to college, or your partner feels better and then he goes back to work. It comes to a point where you sit down one day and you realize that you might have not pursued the dream that you wanted to pursue. You might have had jobs that you loved. I had some jobs that I absolutely loved, but you didn't do exactly what you wanted to do. So then you get to a point, like in my case, you get to be 50, and yes, I realize I'm 51 today, but 50 is the number, okay? 50 is the magic number that I want you to concentrate on. And you start thinking to yourself, I wanted to be, I don't know, you might want to be a singer or a designer or an artist of some sort or an actor. I don't know, whatever it is. Oh, a chef. Something that may or may not require an education. And you know what? Education would be a good thing to bring up right now, because even though I don't necessarily believe that you have to go to college, some careers, you do need a college education. I remember when I was in my 20s, I had somebody going to college that was in her 50s, and she was getting her bachelor's degree so she can go and study law. At 53, if I'm not mistaken, she was when I met her. So it's one of those things that you sit there and you go, there were so many dreams I wanted when I was young, and then life got in the way. And now, I'm not saying that you have money. You might not have any money, but you want to make that dream come true. That is the whole thing about when I say, let's take a journey together. That is exactly what I'm talking about. In a perfect world, if money was no object, okay, and I had all the money in the world to make this happen, I'll give you an example of what I would like to do. I would like if somebody had to take a year off. Let's say your company allows you to go off for a year, but it would be unpaid. I would like to have grant money that I could give you so that you could pay the bills while you pursue that dream for a year. If money was no object, I would like to offer people opportunities to try out things that they would love to do for a living. For example, have the connections with a chef in a great restaurant to give you a trial for 2 weeks so that you can have your dream of being a big chef in a famous restaurant. If you wanted to be an artist, we have Universal and we have Disney. I don't have the connections yet, and that's part of the issue. And that's part of what I bring to the table to start establishing those connections and whatnot. And I'm already working on that part of the thing. But to have the connections so that you can spend 2 weeks singing in a show on, I don't know, Universal or something like that. That's what I want. That's what I want to create. I want to be able to create those opportunities. Now, obviously, because I live in the Orlando area, logically speaking, and because of lack of funds right now, I have to do everything myself as far as getting the connections. And I do know some people that either are the person that I need to talk to or know the person that I need to talk to. So I have to start working on that. The reason why I hadn't started is because I didn't know if I was going to go through with it or not. And at this point, if you follow me on any social media, you know that I'm even selling stuff that I own so I can come up with the money, because I set a goal for this campaign for $2,000. That's not enough. That's definitely not enough. But I want to be able to do all this. For you to be able to experience the experience of a lifetime, I want to be able to have the funds available, have the connections available, have the ability to make this possible. I'm going to start it small because I live in Central Florida and I think there's a lot of opportunities for people here. I do want to branch out to the point where I'm everywhere and we can do anything. And the experiences that we're talking about are bigger. But for now, I want, for example, and I'm going to give you an example from my own life. I have always wanted to learn how to surf. I was born in the island of Puerto Rico. We are surrounded by water. We're 35 by 100 surrounded by water. And I realize that right now it's not a good example to talk about Puerto Rico because they're basically underwater. But what I mean is we have some of the most beautiful beaches in the planet, which are still available. They have not disappeared. So if you want to go to Puerto Rico, go. Help them out. But what I mean is I was surrounded by water and I loved to watch my friends surfing. And I always wanted to learn, but I was always a wuss about it. And then as you get older, people start telling you, well, you're 30 years old, you shouldn't go there, you might break a leg. When you're 40 years old, well, you really shouldn't go there because you might break an arm. Now that I'm 51, people tell me, are you crazy? You can kill yourself doing this. And you know what? It might be true. I might hurt myself. But right now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know, I'm already in pain. It's not like I'm going to be that much more in pain if I fall on a surfboard. So I would like to have 3 or 4 other women that are just like me set up a weekend where we can go somewhere, talk to somebody that has a surfing academy, get a special price for all of us, and be able to do this all together. That's the kind of experience I want to start. Start small and then move bigger. I don't see, and please don't take this the wrong way. I know there's organizations that take care of children that are dying of cancer or have diseases and they want to have their dream come true, and usually it's going to Disney and stuff like that. I understand that's something that happens to children or to people at Wish Foundation or Make-A-Wish. I don't know why we have to wait until we're either dying or really sick to make our dreams come true. That's just the bottom line. I want to be able to make our dreams come true now. And that's why I'm asking you for, today's my birthday. Instead of sending me a $2 card or a present, put $2 on the account, or $5 or $10, or look, if you have the $2,000, the $2,000. I don't care how much you put into it. I care not only that you support us, but if you have an idea of how we can make this happen, join us. Be part of this idea. Be part of the what we want to do. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I say. Let's go on a journey together. I would love for you to join us. I would love for you to help us out. And I can definitely tell you, I'm really excited about this. I don't know what it was about the questions and who asked the questions that got me really psyched about this. So I hope that this video clears it out a little bit more for you. I realize that I'm supposed to update all the time. We had some technical issues, but now we're on a roll again and we can film again. And I'm hoping that you'll join us. Just anything, even if it's just $1. And of course, share this video with your friends. So if they have $1, if everybody that I know gives me $1, I will have the $2,000 tomorrow. That's the way I look at it. So thank you very much for watching, and you have a wonderful day.